Hey, hello. Okay, let's see what we can do today. I'm not very inspired, I think, but let's see if I can get something done because I didn't feel like letting the week go without streaming every single day. And actually, I'm still having problems with OBS. For whatever reason, when I start streaming, it kind of gets things funny here. Let me see, can I move this? I don't even know if the chat is working or is broken again. I mean, the chat is working. I mean, the chat that I embed in the stream. Oh, does it work? Yeah, okay, seems to be working. That's better than the last 2 days that I streamed. Anyway, cool. So what can I do today? I've been increasing my to do things. I have done a few things offline. Like I was playing with the idea. I added some animation. Let's not forget that this is a placeholder, so it's not really, hey, how you doing, hey guys. So this is not a final, it's a placeholder graphic. So I'm just trying the idea of the animation, and I made the scroll. It's style based. It's kind of smooth, so that is done. And because I was working with whatever I had in a test map for an old project, I haven't thought too much about the layers, and yeah, I need to start deciding what I'm going to do. So maybe I can call it background and objects, which is an object layer, then collision for collision detection, and potentially a trigger layer. I still don't know. I don't want to do scripting. So I want to keep it simple, and I was thinking to do it data driven, because with tiled, you don't necessarily need, for example, we can add an object layer here called triggers or trigger. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to do that now, but you can do triggers, and then you can easily, for example, if you have here the entrance of a dungeon, right? So you can create that one there, and then let's say that the dungeon pretending, right? This is not real, that is here, right? So one easy thing that you can do is that this one, you can call it, whatever. The name is just for reference. Dungeon entry one, for example. It doesn't matter. It's just to see something here, right? And this is dungeon one, right? Just again for reference, so you know. If you want to, for example, do a trigger that does teleporting, it's super easy. You can just add a custom property and call it target, for example, and make it an object, right? And then you can basically use dungeon one. No, not like that. Not like that. I mean, the other way around. Okay, so dungeon one connects with dungeon entry, right? And it does this thingy that you can see, like target, and then you can say with dungeon one. So yeah, I mean, you can just style the functionality. Then this is an object layer, and I can basically read this into a trigger matrix. So I have the information per type. I don't know, something like that. You know, I can, because I can convert, you know, I can use some types in OCaml and that will be fine. So basically, when you enter in a tile, you check the trigger matrix, and which is a tile set but with objects. So if there is a, you know, whatever we call this teleport, right? You enter on that tile, I send you to the other one with the transition, and you know, that's an easy way of doing it data driven instead of a script. With a script, you could be doing, for example, instead of making it like this or using the functionality, you could be doing like dungeon entry, right? And then you could be doing here, like instead of an object, could be a string, and you say on enter, and then on enter, and then here, you could be writing your script. So you could be saying, you know, you do a list kind of thingy, easy to parse. You can do like teleport, and then, you know, you can get the coordinates of a tile, like whatever is this one, you know, teleport to 10, 10, for example, right? So, and that's it. So essentially, you do the same, you get the matrix, but instead of having objects, you know, you could have just a property, a trigger on enter, and the script that you want to run. So you interpret the script, and when you, it's the same. You step on a tile, you see there's a trigger. What is the trigger? It's an enter. You know, you can have also on action, and the same. You know, on action you can do like whatever, like dialogue, and then call dungeon entry one, whatever, right? So the same. If the player is in front of this tile, and then is pressing action, button A on the controller, for example, then you execute that. That is going to open a dialog window, and you know the entries. You know that there are different ways of doing it, but I don't want to do scripting for now. So if I can get away from this small, you know, trying to make a small project, an RPG, right? So something that is simpler could be just using the data of, which is kind of what I do in the 8-bit games anyway. Like, I just create objects, the objects have properties, and essentially, you know, I interpret those objects when I run them up. But that's not what I want to do today. Today, I would like to get the collision done. So, background objects and collisions. At the moment, because this was an old map, see the flowers and the torches here are an overlay. We can call it objects, and the map, I'm calling it background or maybe base. I don't know, whatever that design is going to be forever. So base objects, and then we can do one more tile layer for collision, right? So can we use something here for collision? I mean, it doesn't matter what tile we use. We could be using this one, right? So the only thing we need to do is in this tile, I'm thinking, how do we do this? So at the moment, the code is kind of super flexible, because in the map, what I do is I go through all the tile layers. So essentially, it doesn't matter the name. it will do them in order, right? Do I want to do that, or do I want to? Because a different way of doing it is I can look for a tile set which name is base, and that's the first I render. Then I render objects, which could be the things that we put on top. In this case, I don't think it matters because, you know, objects, whatever, you know, because yeah, to compose, you know, a nice scene, you can do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to look for base, I'm going to look for objects, and then collision, I'm not going to draw it because it doesn't matter. I just can make it visible, it doesn't matter. So opacity, we're going to do maybe 25, 0.25, and then in collision we can do this, maybe. Oh, no, I mean, maybe we can do something. We can open the tiles and we can make a tile that is a color, right? It's easy to see, so we know is. I mean, doesn't matter. This is just for testing, right? So I can do this. And then I override the tiles. Override the tiles, so it's now here, which is going to be more visible, right? Not too much. Maybe I need to adjust the basic idea is that we shouldn't be walking on water. So maybe it can be 50%. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, I guess we can do this water as well. The current code is going to read all the tile layers. So, I mean, actually, we can do it better. It's like I'm new or something. Nice. All right, okay. So that's enough for a test. So I guess we need to change, I need to change this because now I don't need to get all the tile layers, right? Because this is doing a filter map, and I'm getting all the tile layers. So I need to process only the names. Cool. I mean, it's going to be easy. So it has to be, I mean, the type is, okay, it needs to be the right type, right? So the name of the layer is going to be member name, the tail, and then we want it to be a string. Okay, let me check something. Another one. How did I call the thingy world? There you go. So let's look for the tile set. So it is name. Okay, cool. I mean, it kind of makes sense that the name of the tile is called name, right? Okay, so we get the name, and then we can have, for example, valid layers, or shall we make a function? Actually, it doesn't need to be there. It can be here, right? Let is valid layer, and then we get the name, and Then we can do string, no, list, I guess. List contains or is now find opt. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, I don't know the API. So what can we do? I mean, I just want to, okay, find index. So some I option. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was looking for exist. Oh, fantastic. So string exists. It takes a function, right? Okay. Sorry. What is that? Exists a. It takes an a. Okay. So fun v, and then v equals name. And then here we can pass the list, which is going to be base objects collision. All right, so if layer type is style layer and its value name, excuse me, what's going on? Value is a string, type of string. What are you talking about? Okay, wait a second. What is this B? Oh, sorry. See, the thing is that having LSP service is super cool, right? And it simplifies a lot of things. But then you forget that you don't know OCaml. Then you use a comma, and then when you use a comma, it's a tuple. So you have a list of a tuple of strings. And because you're not looking at the signature, anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. Now it takes a string, everybody's happy. So essentially, this is going to filter the layers. So this is going to keep the layers. Now, do I really want to do it like this? Do I really want to do a list of layers? Or because if I do a list of layers, it's going to depend on the order. Okay? I mean, collision, I want it to be on top, because in that way I can see with the opacity, right? And I can see that is, you know, that is blocked, right? I mean, if I remove visible, we don't see it, so we can't really use that. Actually, there is a thin color. Will it be that better? Instead of using opacity, maybe. Yeah, opacity. I mean, it could have done the black and just thin. Anyway, I'm doing it like this. It's fine. Now, there is anything here I can tell, like, is collision. I guess I can check the name. So now, so when I do render layer map the layers, so, but I don't have the name here. So that's gonna be now, it's going to be up, right? Because the only thing I'm getting here is the only thing I'm getting here is the array, right? Because style layers is an array of these, and I guess we don't want to do that anymore. We may want to do a map, and we can access by name. So yeah, I did maps here, so we're going to make a map. So we say we want that stream map Should we have this in utils maybe? I have no idea. Will this work? Yes, it will. Okay, and actually, well, I'm going to delete this because I call a module map, and if I don't do a standard lib.map, it's going to get confused. So cool. So that means that I can do a map now, and being a little bit counterintuitive, it's going to be string map t. So that's now string map. So tile layers. Yeah, it's going to be wrong here. Correct. That's absolutely fine. So tile sets, it is. It's not telling me what it is. Why not? So doesn't know. Convert each. Oh no. That's not wrong what we're looking at. So the one that is wrong is tile layers, not tile sets. Tile layers is a list of arrays. So instead of doing that, so this is correct, but I think we need to do something different here, which is going to be name that, and instead of being an array of lists, we're going to do string map of list. And it's still unhappy because here now it's not an array anymore. So instead of doing that, what we're going to do is something different. So I guess we can do we can do string map, and then we can do get or find optional, which gets the name. So we find base on map tile layers, and then this returns an option. So I guess we can do option map. Yeah, maybe. So that gives me option map. So we pass a function and the option. So basically we can do render layer map. No, just render layer, right? And then fail to error. We can remove this. Okay, option map state AA. Option B option, play too many arguments. Sorry. Okay. I don't know how to do. Okay. So this is getting me. Let me think. So what is the problem? So this is a layer, right? And then render layer like that. Yeah, and not like that. This, but it's still not going to like it because this layer is an array. No, that's correct. That's what render layer is expecting, right? Yeah, correct. But I guess it's this thing here. And why is complaining about this? There is a problem somewhere else, but it's not what we are at the moment. I think, okay, so going back to this, maybe this looks better. And then, why I thought I could be doing this? Why this is not happy about it? Because it's like this, right? No, because this is not the one. It's not working. All right, no problem. That's fine. Okay, so there is a problem somewhere else, and it's probably in game, because in game we are expecting something. So it's telling us this expression has type result of unit or error, but an expression was expected type A, B result. What do you mean? Okay, well, this is not returning what we expect. Oh, result option. Yeah, because we might be mapping the option, right? So, and then this is when it gets hairy. Yeah, I'm going to put the parentheses. Oh, I need to put the parentheses. Yeah, okay. So this is what the people in the OCaml IRC channel were telling me. The operator, the function application, this thingy, has lower preference than this other operator. So you can get something that is not what you expect. And then get or fail base layer found. Now it's happy. So this is rendering the base layer only. All right, which means that there's no flowers and there is no touches. Makes sense, right? And then we need to do, will it be worth making a list and then going over the list? Oh, that would be ugly. I guess doesn't matter. I mean, I guess we can do a list of even array, and then we can do iterate, and then we say given a name, we're going to do a lot of things, and then it's going to be in order base and objects. Function name, blah blah blah, and then we're not using name, so it's basically name here, sorry about that, and then yeah, what's going on now? Why is I'm happy about this? Function map name expression has type, sorry, so iter is expecting, yeah, returns unit. Yeah, but this is not what it expects because it's the option. So instead of a map, we can do something different. We can, okay, because we can do layer equals this, right? Then we can do get or fail. And then we can do I mean, I will probably review this later because, you know, checking the layer every time is kind of silly, right? So I would probably should be checking the layers first, and then if you got the layers, then you don't, right? So I mean, meaning that this could be just fine. If you validate the layers once, you don't need to do it every time, right? But anyway, for now, let's get it working, and then we can think about it later. So, and because now we have the layer, we can do this. And why is not it's complaining about now? So this layer is not an option anymore. So render layer is array to unit. So that's an array. Then fail to error. Oh, wait a minute. So render layer can fail. So why am I doing this? Cool. And it needs an array. Well, okay. That's fine. Cool. And this one is unhappy now. Why? Because something I'm doing wrong. So render returns unit. But this render, why it was not, what was returning before? So before, render layer, but render layer can fail, can it? No. Render layer, it returns unit. So this was wrong. It never returned a result. Okay, so now it's rendering the torches and the flowers, right? So that is working now. What I don't really like is essentially this is wrong. I don't like it. Because this basically is filtered on the tile layers, right? So it ignores them, right? But if we don't find the tile layer, we should be complaining already. So I think I need to change this. This is not good. And when I change that in here, we can make it simpler, right? Because we just do find, and we know that the layer is going to be there. So I don't need to get a fail, right? And I just can render the layer. Like this. And in this case, I might be able to do this. No, I still can't. Why not? Oh, maybe it's the other way around. Okay, so no, because the first parameter. How do I swap this? There is something like the dot operator. How do I swap parameters? Anyway, never mind. I will try to learn OCaml at a different time. I mean, there must be a way of changing the order of the parameters of find, right? Because if we change the order of find, we can currying by applying the tile layers, and then the map, the name, comes from this list, whatever. Base objects. So this is not going to have any effect because the layers are there. But if one layer was not there, it will crash. So instead of filtering here, that it was quick and easy, we need to change this. Instead of adding layer, we can do, for example, get tile layer. we ask for a name, then we do something different. Because instead of doing a filter map, maybe, sorry, filter map what is coming. I think it's coming from this, right? It has to, yeah, filter map. There you go. So you get a list and you get a list. I don't know how to do this now. So probably not here. So instead of tile layers, so tile layers will be string map for now, okay? And here this is going to be get tile layer. That we're going to have a name. So this it returns a list. Okay, so and then we can do name file. So this given us whatever is a string, okay, because we're not using the name. So how do we call this? Tile name. So we get name blah blah blah. Instead of a style layer, we can say name is tile name, right? So that given a string, we get a list of okay, it could work because we can concatenate the list. Okay, fine. Forget about that for now. Unbound variable name is tile name. And we need to do is some maybe. Why? Because this tile can be an empty list. Okay, because if we don't find it, the filter will give us an empty list. So tile name will be pointing to an empty list. So I guess at this point we need to validate something, right? If list is empty, tile set. Sorry, no, it's not tile, it's layer. Let's call things with the right name, otherwise it's kind of. And it's not tile, it's layer name. Anyway, that's one thing at a time. Then fail. Let's fail with in the string dev and then we pass tile name. Although we're going to change it because it's tile name, it's not. Otherwise, return that. And in here, this is not tile name. It's tile layer. tile layer name. And now this is going to be get tile layer, and then we say base, and then we use an operator here. I don't know if that's the operator, we'll find which one it is. Objects, and then we make a map from, so string map of list. This is not the operator. Oh, no, the application operator, no. How do you concatenate two lists? That is, no, that was too easy. With this, but this is not what we wanted, right? This has to be how do we do this? Oh no, because it returns a tuple, right? That was silly. Then I don't need to do this. String map of list. Cool. That's it. Follow it up? No. No. All right. So what is tile layers? Tile layers is a list of string map. Excuse me. No, a string map. Okay, so this is not correct. How does the string map work? I don't know, but I'm going to find. How did I do it in sprites? So basically, so sprite data is name set. That's what I'm using, isn't it? Tile layer name and the layer. So this is a string, and this is not correct. Because of this, I changed my mind. This is not going to be anymore. No, sorry, some. Excuse me, some. Mr. Some. Okay, that is looking better now. So let's look at this. A string and in array. That is correct. So what is tile layer now? Tile layers is a string map. No, that's not correct. It has to be a string map array int. Array int. String int array. Yeah. That's correct. So where I am screwing this. So tile layers is wrong. There is an extra list here that it shouldn't be. And it's because I'm doing a filter map here, which is giving me a list. And that's what I was trying to concatenate things, but that doesn't make, yeah, I guess I can concat. Like, can I do list concat this one and this one. So that is giving me, oh no, it has to be a list of lists. So that's not what I wanted. Merge or merge. So merge, it takes what? No, but I don't want the function. How do I add a list to another list? What is the operator for that? have no idea. Let's take a look. I want to know now. Let's take a look. I want to know. All right, okay, type list, compare length, compare is empty, singleton, HDTL. Append. Yeah, it's append what we want. Do we have a special? Do we have any syntax sugar like a nicer? Or just I can just type append, but okay, append is going to be. Which is fine. And then this is a string map of list. And it's not happy about it. Why not? Because it spells a list of lists, two lists, and when I'm returning, it's supposed to be a list. Come on. No. It is still wrong. Why? So what is layer? Layer is an integer. Yeah, that's correct. And this is a string. And layer, that is correct. So this was never returning a string. I'm confused. Oh, because the first is the parameter. Sorry, I'm stupid. It's returning a tuple. So I think what we had before, it was fine. So now I'm confused, but that's not new, is it? Sorry, parentheses is in the way. Okay, so tile layers is going to be I'm very confused. Why is stream map? Oh yeah, no, it's correct because it's a list. No, it shouldn't be a list of array. That's not right. This is returning a list of in array. I'm confused. What is layer? Is the list of array? It's because of the filter map. No, it's a filter map. This is going to return a list, right? If the list is empty, well, we know it's not empty, right? So let's do list. Give me the head, and that's it. This is awful. I need to improve it, but for now. All right, okay. So this is checking things, and if for whatever reason I just don't have one of the layers, it's going to tell me object style layer not found map. Now I need to be able to undo. Can I undo? Undo. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so that kind of works, but it's still, I'm still not unclear why this is kind of complicated. And it shouldn't be that complicated, but get tile layer. This is getting the tile layer by name. Maybe there's another way of doing it. So I'm doing filter map. So filter map applies to layers. Layers is a list of safety. can I do it differently? Can I go? Right. So this is part of the JSON API. So can I find here like so member, you get, now that's not what we want. Map is not what we want. I mean, filter, map, kind of, but not really, because I get a list at the end. And I don't want that. I just want filter member. No, that's not what we want. No, because we need to filter by a member of the object. No, that's not it. That's not going to be it. So let's take a look. Filter list, filter member, no. Business, no. Filter flow, filter string. No, because filter always return a string. I'm going to leave it like that for now. This is giving you associative. No, it's still a list. So what about two option? Because we get so from safety we get to A. No, because we need to iterate. It's a list anyway. I'm going to leave it like this for now. Maybe different day when I'm fresh, I can think about something. Cool, but this is fine, I think. So this is rendering the two layers we have. We're going to put this guy in a different place. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Because otherwise we're going to start in water. It's not going to be very useful for testing, right? So that's probably, I put it in init. We're adding the player in init. Where are you, player? Oh, entity player. Okay. So what did I say? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. 4, 3. I'm 16 because the size of the tiles. Kind of. Does it really matter though? It's 0 base. So okay, I was adding one extra. That's fine. But it's still, we're still not using the collection. Okay. So now we go back to the map and we need a new function here, right? Is blocked. We pass the map X and Y, and we're going to return a boolean, right? So the collision layer is going to do string map find collision. Okay, there is something wrong here because yeah, we're missing one. I mean, it's not wrong. It's just that I forgot about it. But get tile layer collision, right? So we can just use find because it's going to be there, right? So collision, and then it's map tile layers. So that is giving us the collision layer. Now, X and Y, we need to map X is going to be X. How do we do I have any variables somewhere here? Okay, let me see. Yeah, we have, what is TS? It's the tile set, width and height. So essentially, we need these two, kind of. But not really, but close enough. So map X and Y, and it's X and Y, and map, I mean, do I really need, let's see. Map, that is it. And then we need to get the tile itself. So the array get collision layer and then the index. Is that correct? Yes, and then X and Y. Okay, no, X, and it will return a value, right? So it's going to be X. We need the map. Okay, no, it's map width. Okay, so X plus Y. Sorry, no, map X max Y times map width, and then this has to be different than a number. What is that number? I don't know. Let's look at it. So in the world map, so we have collision, and apparently there is a lot of zeros. So if it's not zero, it's going to be collision. Is that right or is that wrong? I'm not completely sure. Let's go to the beginning of the definition. Yeah, 96, so 0. If it's not 0, then it's blocked. Excellent. Now we need to go to entities, and in the place that we are updating set with control, we have to need the map as well. So frame, control, map, and we need to pass that in when we updated this somewhere. Frame, control, the map, and then this map is when we're going to check for collision, right? So if there's no correct, okay, so then here we need to check more things. So one of them has to be set, and map is blocked map, and then we're going to pass posX plus inc x and post y plus inc y. Is that correct? Not quite. We can do something. Because it's free, right? This doesn't have any cost for us. We can do this. Just to make it nicer and more readable. I can type. And then instead of repeating this, we can say target X. Target Y. And we walk into target X and target Y. Is that correct? Let's try it. No, it's not. Actually, we can work on essentially on water. So that means that, yeah, of course, it's the wrong way. What does it mean? So we get in the collision layer, we get the coordinates, and if it's 0, no, if it's different than 0, okay, this was correct. It is here. The map, if it's not blocked, sorry. OCaml, you are weird. Oh, look at this. I cannot walk on water anymore. Is that true? Yes, it is true. It is blocked. Anyway, we got there in an hour. That's nice. Cool. That looks fine. Alright. What did I do? So I can say added file get file for collision layer. Then here and then yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. This is only for me. It's not open source yet. But, okay, we probably want to do this the last commit, I guess. So what are we doing in game? Yeah, okay, so these two have to be together. So map. What did we do with this one? What we did with this one is be explicit about the render layers. So to name name, so base objects and flow. Oh, that's not the one. And in here, like, okay. So I have decided layers. I probably should document this at some point, somewhere, so I don't forget about it. But so this is done, and the next thing is thinking a little bit more how I'm going to do the triggers. Database, sorry, data. So based on data, not with the scripting. I don't know, maybe I can change my mind and do scripting. It's not too difficult anyway. Doing something very simple, it should be okay as well. But I mean, at the beginning, the example I was showing, it kind of looks okay, like some, that's super easy to parse, and that could work as well. Although I kind of like, even sometimes can get messy, seeing in tile how things connect and the names and everything. I find that very, very easy to use, probably easier than relying on having to read the scripts, right? Oh, there is something we need to fix here, like auto bounds. Yeah, we need to look at that because it did crash when I was walking on water. So when the check was wrong, you can get out of bounds now, and it could crash because in here we are not checking that we are not going out of the layer, right? So I don't know, maybe it could be just an assertion, and just to be completely sure, like if it's a bug, right? So it doesn't make sense. Oh, there's two ways around it. Either I force my engine to rely on a block border, or if you go out of the bounds, it's blocked. And that's it. Either way. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Yeah, I did it. See you next time. Bye, 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 bye.